Grace and peace and spoiler alert for The Swiss Family Robinson. Now, I have to be careful with this one. I am talking about the new one that was made in 1960, the remake. I hear that there's going to be an even newer one that will be coming out. So I wanted to watch this one and kind of refresh myself. I'd watched it as a kid and enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it again. But what I do here on Movie Pastor is I interpret movies theologically. I pay attention to themes, what they're about, and I seek to engage and interpret them. Kind of like a Bible study, except it's not a Bible study. It's a movie study where we're studying the movie. And maybe if you have fun studying movies with me, one of these days we can have more fun studying the Bible, because I do it the same way. I really do. Anyway, what's Swiss Family Robinson about? What does it say? What's it mean? And how do we interpret it? I would argue that Swiss Family Robinson is about eudaimonia. That's the big fancy college word. I have a master's degree. You're welcome. But eudaimonia means the good life. It's about the good life. Swiss Family Robinson is a story about how do we want to live? What's important to society? What's good and what's worthwhile? In this story, the Robinson family gets stranded on an island and has a series of adventures and different kind of subplots. And by the end of the series of subplots, the vast majority of the family chooses to remain in this place where they had once been captive. And we as an audience, I think pretty reliably relate to that. That sounds right. Like we see them do that and we're like, yeah, absolutely. Like, why would they leave paradise? They're on this wonderful island. There's apparently plenty of fish to eat and fruit. There's a zoo worth of wild animals, and they all seem vaguely friendly. And who wouldn't want to live in that awesome treehouse? So we root for them when they choose to stay, but still have something to do with civilization, given the chance. And I like that there's a little bit of a Flintstones element to it. Right? Like the treehouse involves kind of a modern Stone Age, there's a cooler, and there are some elements of modern conveniences that are adapted and created in a primitive way that keeps it all from just being Luddite-ish. I can't stand Luddite stuff, right? Like when a Luddite is a person who just is opposed to technology, who thinks technology is bad. And if the movie had said, like, yeah, wouldn't it be better if we just lived simply and lived off the land and didn't have any modern conveniences at all, it would go in that direction that it rubs me the wrong way. Like people do the whole, oh, no screens, all screens are bad. Like, why? Why are all screens bad? Because they're new? Like, they're not any different from other surfaces. We need to engage that. But Swiss Family Robinson doesn't go there. It goes somewhere a lot deeper. And instead of saying technology is bad, it says technology is supposed to be for something. And we have to ask, what is it we're trying to accomplish? Because you need enough technology for what you're trying to accomplish. And then after that, you need to ask the question of how much is enough, lest you get stuck in the rat race. And literally, like, the Robinsons had to make that choice as they came off the boat, right? Like, what do we go back for? What's worth keeping? Because there is some stuff that's worth keeping. And what's not? What's just the accumulation of more stuff because part of me still believes whoever dies with the most toys wins. So what the Robinsons want is a happy, positive family life, which includes the possibility, if their kids should want it, of marriage for their kids. And they're able to accomplish it. And the one son who's not able to accomplish it on the island is able to leave the island and go get an education without anyone holding it against him, right? It's like, yeah, that makes sense for you, but we have enough here. Contentment, I have said over and over, is wanting what you have and not wanting any more. And it seems that Swiss Family Robinson makes a persuasive argument that that is an important part of eudaimonia. It's an important part of the good life, to know exactly how much is enough and then to content yourself with it when you get there. I wonder if we ask ourselves that question enough. If we ask ourselves what we want and ask ourselves how much will be enough and what maybe is just momentum. How far do I need to get in my career, and how far is just working more because I feel like that's the next step and that's what I'm supposed to do, and I haven't checked back in with my goals. I haven't checked back in with my internal self, with my identity, to kind of see, hey, am I okay? Am I doing this right? I wonder if many of us, if we were given the kind of forced break that the Robinsons were given, maybe COVID-19 could be that break for some of us, we would have the opportunity to reassess our lives and pay attention to what's most important. Maybe you could take that break right now. For the next couple of minutes, if you want to.